One of the great new features of ColorCert version 2.7 is the BestMatch feature. Let's take a look at it. You are probably already familiar with the ColorCert analysis screen for solid colors. In lieu of what used to be called the Symbols tab is the BestMatch tab. If you do prefer the previous Symbols data presentation, it is still available by clicking the small arrow icon and then Symbols in the lower left-hand corner of the display. To get back, simply click the arrow icon once again and then click BestMatch. The left-hand side of the BestMatch screen shows the density and delta E value of the sample reading being displayed. In our case, the density is 1.27 and our current delta E reading is 0.87. In the center of the display, we are being shown the density value that will result in the best possible match to the standard, given the current ink. It also shows us what the delta E value would be if we were to adjust our density as suggested. In this case, our current sample passes our tolerance. However, if we were to reduce our density to 1.23, we can improve our match from 0.87 to 0.32 delta E. The same information is also displayed visually. Let's take a closer look at this using a color that is not quite such a good match. This will make it easier to see what we are looking at. You should be able to see three distinct areas of color here. The center shows a representation of the target color. The left-hand side of the circle is a C shape, which shows the current color as measured from our sample. The right-hand side of this circular display is a backwards C shape, which shows the best match color. Let's go back to the full screen. On the right-hand side of the display is a graph labeled Operating Range. Let's take a closer look at what this graph is showing us. The vertical axis of this graph is delta E. The horizontal axis is density. The horizontal red line is showing the limit of our current tolerance, in this case 2.0. The V, or U-shaped prediction line, is a plot showing the delta E of our current ink as our density varies. The dashed vertical green line shows the density at which we will achieve the best possible match to our standard. The bottom of this graph is a delta E of 0. As our density rises above or falls below this value, our delta E value increases. This gives our plot its shape. Some colors are more forgiving than others and will have a flatter U shape. Others will have a prediction line with sides that rise quickly, resulting in a shape more like the letter V. These colors will move quickly with changes in density and will require a closer eye to keep them in tolerance during the press run. The dashed vertical line shows the density of our current sample. The green area within our graph represents the density range in which we may fluctuate on press while remaining within our defined tolerance. In this case, maintaining our density between 1.13 and 1.33 will result in color that passes our 2.0 delta E tolerance. As mentioned earlier, some colors will have a flatter U-shaped prediction curve, allowing greater variation in density while remaining within tolerance. Some other colors will have shapes which rise sharply, creating the appearance of a V. For these colors, as a press operator, this guidance suggests we need to keep a close eye on them to assure we remain in tolerance. Let's zoom back out to our full screen and then take a look at the other colors on this job. As in previous versions of ColorCert, we can switch between colors by clicking the radio button next to the color. Let's take a look at the orange. Our sample is currently running at a density of 1.03, and we are at a delta E of 2.01, which falls just outside our 2.0 tolerance limit. In this case, however, our best match is also a delta E of 2.01, running at a density of 1.03. This means that for this combination of ink, substrate, and printing conditions, we are running as best as we possibly can. So as a press operator, this gives us quick guidance that toning our ink is likely necessary to get a better match, and not just a density adjustment. Now let's look at the black. This color is also being run at the ideal density and is well within the defined tolerance. You will also note that we see a good density range where we will remain in tolerance. This suggests our black is well behaved and likely to run consistently within tolerance. One last note, if you prefer to work with ink strength rather than density, you may do so by clicking the arrow icon by correlation mode and then selecting strength. The strength mode may be selected in ColorCert preferences. I expect that you are going to find this new analysis tool to be a very nice addition to the toolkit that ColorCert provides. As always, your ColorCert SaaS license model entitles you to all upgrades and feature additions at no additional cost.